As you've been hearing this morning, the big story, Kevin Stallings has reportedly accepted the position of head coach for the Pitt Panthers basketball team. He's been the head coach at Vanderbilt for 17 years. It's a decision that's caused some confusion among fans. Nonetheless, Pitt is expected to come out with a final announcement sometime soon.
That was James Garrity, and we've been reporting all day. There's a new person at the University of Pittsburgh Panther basketball program who's going to be, there to run the show. Reportedly a 6-year deal. Final announcement should come at a press conference tomorrow. We are hearing reports. Paul Zeiss from 93.7 The Fan and the Post-Gazette and Eric Hagman saying earlier today with me on a Facebook blog that you may have saw and also on YouTube, it's a 6-year deal. Kevin Stallings is leaving Vanderbilt to come here. A Pitt alum, Greg Diolis, Vantage Management Group, a resident sports attorney and agent, and the man who's covered a lot of Pitt basketball from the amazing newspaper that is the Post-Gazette, award-winning journalist Bob Dvorak. No wow factor here, Greg.
Consternation and confusion as far as I'm concerned. Where does this guy come from? First pick gets taken advantage of. This new athletic director comes in. He gets taken advantage of by Jamie Dixon on the way out the door and reduces the buyout that he didn't have to reduce. Now had some extra dough to throw around, and now he's got to go and buy this cat out from Vanderbilt. And it's a guy who's no wow factor whatsoever. 7 tournament appearances in 17 years. Can't get those guys to the next level. What makes us think that he can do anything good at Pitt? It's really confusing.
You know, how many times have we heard it's the young man's game? I mean, the future. Look at James Garrity before me. That was me 30 years ago, right, folks? And we were hanging out at Bedrock with Fred and Wilma. But it really is about the future. You get somebody young in there, and I'll be honest with you, I don't see a guy 55 years old getting the Panthers back to where Howland and Dixon had them on a regular basis. Bob?
Scratching my head.
Is that what you're doing? I'm sorry.
It's a sight gag, Rob.
I know it is. I was ready to break out a bottle of Head and Shoulders for you. No, but do you understand what I'm saying, though? I just don't see. It's been a long day. I just don't see how this is going to advance the program. And if this is all you had, maybe you should have begged Jamie to stay.
Well, Bob, we were talking earlier about these search firms that most of these colleges now use. And if you've got to hire a search firm, what the heck did we hire you for as an athletic director?
And what does a search firm do? Hey, why don't you give that guy a call at Vanderbilt? I mean, is it data? Do you spend time? Do you do the legwork? I mean, isn't an athletic director paid to help put the schedule together, but also make sure that you have the right coach to run the program? And when you have to get a coach, you're the person that becomes the search program.
It's called Google.
Yeah.
Just look 'em up. I guess you got to do the criminal background checks and whatever. No, it's just adds another layer, and maybe it sounds good, but I like getting together everybody at the Final Four. All the coaches are there, all the programs are there. There's some cross pollination. You can hear a guy's name. You find out if somebody's an up and comer. If it's not happening.
All right, just work with me. Patino, Boeheim, they're the dinosaurs of the ACC. Great coaches, okay. Still have a lot of clout. You're going to listen to them. But they've been around a while, and they've got the resume. Calipari, another big coach out there, not of the ACC, but another coach out there that you think of around here. But when you think of the ACC, Mike Brey, been there multiple years at Notre Dame. Coach K's been there forever. Tommy Amaker, another guy who we were talking about before, former player at Duke, assistant with him, doesn't happen, okay? You think of Roy Williams, another one of those in that great group of coaches who've been around for a long time. People like Patino, people like Boeheim. So when he calls, you're listening. But what I'm trying to say is, even with the age factor, the difference, okay, I don't see this man coming into a home and getting a recruit or out recruiting any of them, even if they send their top assistant or maybe even second assistant. I think the schools that they're coaches from, such as Notre Dame, such as North Carolina, such as Duke, such as Louisville, have more of a resume to get the athlete as opposed to this guy, Kevin Stallings. Nothing against him, but this is like really being David versus Goliath every time you go to get a player.
Rob, the recruiting game is not what we used to envision recruiting as, with the one coach walking in and sitting down on somebody's living room couch and trying to sell a family. It's all about those connections that they have with these AAU coaches when these kids are starting out as freshmen and sophomores in high school and developing all of those contacts and all that root.
But if Coach K or Coach Williams calls that AAU coach, who are they going to call back? Are they going to call Stallings back or those guys back? Or someone representing those schools, Duke, Louisville, North Carolina, Notre Dame? Is Pitt really got a fighting chance here? It's a good question.
It doesn't appear that they do, but you have to hope that this network that this guy has that can develop those things, and he has had some talent.
Right, and one thing you say about him is he has recruited well. Whether that translates to Pitt or not, we don't know. So,
All right, listen, they should have went after Boeheim. I would love to have seen it. Listen, Jim
Tell
Boeheim,
you
Syracuse, CBS, KDK Television. They're going to be in action against Virginia later today, and then North Carolina, Notre Dame. I love it. All ACC, all the time. Your thoughts about the games coming up? Chicago, Philadelphia.
Well, if we go back to the blog we did earlier this week and look at what I said, don't even ask me these questions because I think I was 0 for 8 from the other night.
Okay, it's okay.
But yeah, always you look at what Notre Dame was able to do the other night. Really snatched that one out, and victory from the jaws of defeat. Should be an interesting outcome for them tonight, I think.
Bobby?
yeah, well, Virginia and Syracuse. Syracuse is a surprise team to make it this far. Pitt beat them a couple times this year.
How about, go ahead.
Number 1 seed, you kind of like the chalk taking over, coming down to the last 2 weekends of the tournament.
How about Villanova knocking off Kansas? So is that not big? I love it. I mean, I love Kansas basketball, but Villanova, you think of the old Big East. Good for them.
Oh, they solid down the stretch from the foul line. My goodness.
Yeah, and Kansas, you have one off night.
Yeah.
A couple of things don't work, and that's it.
James Garrity helped me with the Samsung. Get in there close. Sports Illustrated. That's where I learned everything about sports, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Since
Used to be a magazine. Yeah.
Well, some of us still do love to read it. I never miss it when I'm at the barbershop. Listen, it's the truth. It's the first thing I go after. That, the Rolling Stone, the newspaper. All right, listen. Let's talk about the Penguins. Right now, 90 points, a couple of points behind the Rangers Metropolitan Division. They're in third, Rangers in second place. 41 wins on the year, playing much better hockey than we thought they would without Malcolm. A number of reasons. Phil Kessel's obviously playing great hockey. Marc-Andre Fleury's been absolutely stupendous. And Sidney Crosby may be headed towards MVP status before it's all said and done. They take on the Rangers tonight. What better place than the NBC Sports Network? Maybe the great Doc Emmerich with the call. Lots of drama, lots of excitement. Boy, I'm loving the Penguins right now.
Well, which says Easter better than a nice hockey game?
That's
A
right.
couple of smashed skulls.
Well, after you eat all them jelly beans, you got the sugar rush. You
Wow,
gotta do something.
chiclets, sure. Yeah,
Ooh,
right.
I like
right.
chiclets. Anyway, your thoughts?
Surprised. I mean, a couple of weeks ago they were saying, no, they're hanging by the skin of their teeth as a playoff team. Now they have a chance to finish number 2. Obviously,
Home ice advantage.
yeah, and the momentum's swinging in their way. They're playing well, and just want to see them get out of the regular season without too much damage as far as the injury situation goes.
So this one with the Rangers tonight is the one that had the only one stubbing of the toe in the last 8 games. So if they could just make that one move back and jump ahead of the Rangers here, this would really solidify their opportunity to get that second seed.
2 more things very quickly. Obviously, the Pirates a week from today, a home opener. You can hear it on KDKA beginning at 12:40 against St. Louis. Francisco Liriano, and of course, all season 93.7 The Fan. Andrew McCutcheon, they're going to shut him down. He had some knee issues last year. They just want to take precautions with him. He seems to be okay. He's going to the number 2 slot, and they're going to mess with that cleanup position. That's the biggest story, I believe, right now with the Pirates, even more so than questioning their starting pitching. I'm really concerned, not so much about that second slot, but you start messing with your cleanup. How does a guy ever get into the groove if you keep going back and forth because of a righty or a lefty between Marte and Polanco? If Polanco is the future as far as the big bat, don't you want to leave him there?
Yeah, there were some real issues of how do they replace the home runs from Neil Walker and Pedro Alvarez, and they haven't. There's nothing in spring training right now that says they have done that. So some question mark for them at the beginning of the year.
Although Freeze may be one of the parts of that puzzle to fill there, but we're talking about batting in the second hole, batting in the fourth spot of the order. I never did it at the major league level, but I know every time I ever came to the plate, I never said to myself, "Wonder where I'm batting in the order tonight." Does this matter when I get up there to go to bat? I don't think that it's as big a deal as people are making out. It's more plate appearance.
It only matters in the first inning. After that, it's all
the most
scrambled
important position as far as in the batting order. Jasso, if he's playing first base or whoever's, and he's supposed to be the leadoff guy, I guess. That's going to be the key to the success of this team. If they can get that first guy up on base, I don't care if he walks down or whatever he does, that 90 feet to first base, he's got to get on first base.
Take one for the team.
That's right. I did a few of those in my life. That's why sometimes I can't think straight.
You and Minnie Minosa. Yeah.
Minnie Minosa. Where's Minnie at? I love Minnie.
Those new hats that the pitchers are now wearing to protect them against line drives.
That's
smart.
smart. That's smart. All right, listen. World Golf Championships. Just imagine, weeks away. on this very Sunday, April 10th, Bob Ford will have just joined us on the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show, because April 10th will be the day, it's the final day of the Masters at Augusta, and we'll get a preview of the U.S. Open coming to that great course that is Oakmont, right outside of this amazing place we call home, Pittsburgh. But the World Golf Championships, Jordan Spieth is out, but Jason Day, I'm starting to think that this kid may be ready to step it up a notch. He's in it today. Rory McIlroy's in it today. I like this type of play. And of course, you can see it and all the details on the Golf Channel. They're at the Austin Country Club in Austin, Texas. That's our final thought.
Jordan Spieth struggling with his swing a little bit. Didn't have it yesterday and lost his #1 ranking to Jason Day. You know, what he did last year does not translate one whit into what's going on.
But remember, on any given day,
or any given Sunday.
That's right. Your thoughts about that, and then we're going to go.
Well, real quickly with Jason Day, you were talking the other day about all these golfers who are getting bigger in lifting weights. That Jason Day's put together.
He is. He gets some back issues, though.
Maybe it's part of the muscle stuff.
I know. Hey, listen, thanks to James Gary.
I've got a week back.
You heard about a week back? All right, listen, I want to thank James Gary. Did a great job filling in for Barbara Boylan this week, helping me out with the Samsung S5 phone. Have a great day. Enjoy the basketball. And opening day is just a week away. Happy Easter, everybody.